Now, it's all very well offering platitudes to the people of Ukraine and speaking of the bravery of President Zelensky, relatively unknown across the world until about a week or so ago. But how about we offer him real help? And by doing that, we actually help ourselves. Now, I've been thinking long and hard about this, and I believe that this war is actually all about money. Putin has loads, and we're supplying it. We're funding this war and making him more powerful in the process. The only way we can stop him is if the world stops buying Russian gas, and we could do it pretty much tomorrow. Europe would need to buy from, say, Qatar, who haven't necessarily got the best human rights record, but who are we to judge we're funding a maniac who's bludgeoning his own people as we idly watch? He's looking for provocation as he wavers the threat of nuclear war, which even he knows that nobody wins. But what does billionaire Putin care? He's had a pretty good life. He's almost 70, so closer to the end than the beginning of it. And he must know that he's already lost this battle. You can take over land, but winning hearts and minds, especially in this technological era after what he's done, will be nigh on impossible. And then getting the world to welcome Russia back into the fold is simply not going to happen with him at the helm. He's got nothing left to lose, and that makes him incredibly dangerous. I once went out with somebody who would try and provoke me into anger so that he could blame me for the argument that ensued. Whatever he did from there on in was always my fault. Narcissistic behaviour that, unless you stop feeding, will simply get worse. So why doesn't Europe cut off its reliance on Russian gas? Answer: because it would send the price sky high. It would cost too much. You think? Really? Well, let's talk cost. If we carry on down this path, there's the cost of those lost in battle, thousands of young people, many blindly led to their deaths to fight for no real reason. There's the civilian casualties as people are ruthlessly murdered, caught in the crossfire. Not everyone is able-bodied or young and healthy enough to flee, and some simply don't want to. And for those that do, a humanitarian crisis as millions of people escape both Ukraine and Russia. How do you think these people will be funded? Well, through our taxes, of course. And then after all the bloodshed and the money spent, it's still not over. The threat of a nuclear war with Russia will hover over the world. Put it this way, rather than paying towards a net zero nonsense agenda, I would be prepared to pay 3 times what I'm paying in fuel on every front if it stops that man from genocide. And what's more, if you think that that is too much, what's coming down the line will be way more costly. If it means that we stop Putin in his tracks, we must stop funding this war, because we're next.